Welcome back, everyone, to Fruit Punch with Jack and Cole. I'm Jack,
I'm cool.
and yeah, this is Fruit Punch. We got a good show for you guys today. Pay-per-view event this Saturday. Cole, let's kick it off with the fights from last weekend. Multiple organizations, multiple events. Let's start with the UFC though.
Saving the
Sean
best for
Strickland.
last.
Yeah, save the best for no offense.
Yeah, that I'll start with the co-main. That was a crazy fight. Cheyenne Buys versus Gloria DePaula. Or I think that's how you say her name. That TKO in the first round, it was beautiful. She was standing up and she kicked her as she was standing perfect. I've really like sort of fallen in love with Cheyenne and JP Buys just because I've seen a lot of like videos about them surrounding that fight week. And I don't know, I was just really happy for Cheyenne because she was describing how like her old managers would fuck her over and take a big portion of her purse, and that now her fighting pay is just enough to cover her training camp and pay her trainers. She is in debt and like had to take out a loan to buy a house and all that stuff. So now that she was able to get the 50K bonus, to see that
Massive.
video, yeah, that did you see her reaction?
Yeah, she was in shock.
Yeah, it was like that was the best video
Which
ever.
she shouldn't be, because I watched the knockout and I was like, what just happened? I couldn't even, was the kick illegal? Did it hit her in the body? Like what? If you couldn't even see, you just heard the sound of it in the reaction. And
No,
yeah, you don't
it was
see that in women's MMA that often. And it was very impressive. And I agree with you, which is why, Cole, I don't think this has been talked about a lot, but when it comes to the top fighters, like, McGregor and Poirier, they kind of like whoever's the main event kind of gets a bit of a boost in terms of performance bonus. Like you'll get one over someone else, even if the other person's knockout or submission is a little better, like
yeah.
Zabit got a 50K bonus for getting a knee bar on Brandon Davis, and Aljamain Sterling did it 2 fights before or something against Cody Stamann in a more impressive fashion. And Zabit, considering he's the bigger name, who's higher up on the card, he got the bonus. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I mean? Like
bullshit.
that's like, so I feel like the top fighters just, they don't need an extra 50K. Like obviously if Jorge Masvidal, if he knocks out Ben Askren in 5 seconds with a flying knee, I don't care if he's the main event. I don't care if he's making $3 million. He deserves the bonus because that's insane.
Am
But
I wrong, or did they make it 75K recently?
they've done it twice, I think. It depends. Like they did it for the McGregor card and they did
They
it for the.
honestly, they should keep it because like at the end of the day, if they're paying taxes, like you're not even getting 50K. You're getting like what,
Yeah, Dana said he
35?
can't do that. It will be like, I'm sure in like 5 years it'll be 100. Like, it'll go
I mean,
up.
yeah, but that's inflation. It's not, doesn't mean much.
Well,
But
not
who
really.
cares? Let's
Okay.
let's let's move on to the main event of the night. Sean Strickland versus Uriah Hall, or Sean Strickland versus um, punching bag, whatever you'd like to call it.
That was a
Um,
failure.
like the joke, you mean?
Yeah, I was really like,
Did you
you
like
had
actually? Did you
opportunity.
actually think that was like supposed to be like a funny punchline? I was just
No,
trying
but
to
I
make
thought
fun
you
of
would
Uriah
come.
Hall.
I obviously know, but I thought you would come up with something a little better. Like,
Oh well, in that case,
when
I'm fine.
Tyron Woodley fought Kobe Covington, I called him Tyron the Frozen One Woodley. I think that's clever. Did I get it from someone else's
You know
comment on
what?
Instagram?
It would have been clever and cool if you didn't bring it up again.
Anyways,
Regardless, I'm glad you thought so much of me that I'd come up with such a good joke there. But
yeah.
Hall was just shit. He didn't do anything that whole
Hey,
fight.
don't be mean.
And Yeah, Sean Strickland put on a beautiful performance. I think that's the first 5 round fight he's ever been in, and it's starting to show that his wins against top names like Brendan Allen, who looked amazing the other week, they're real. They're real wins.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see him in his next fight, and we all know who that's going to be,
Yep.
Mr. Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold's returning to fight Sean Strickland. Not often do you see a fighter come off his main event and then 2 days later he's got a fight booked on a massive pay-per-view in New York City. It's very cool. It's very admirable for someone to. It's really 3 months. So good on Sean Strickland. And this is a fight where, yeah, getting a name like Luke Rockhold on your resume is good, but he's not ranked. Luke's lost his last 3 of 4. He hasn't fought in 2 years. If Sean wins, I feel like it'll be wrote off. It'll be written off a little bit. People will not classify the win as highly as it should be if he does manage to pull it off, because a win over Luke Rockhold is a win over Luke Rockhold. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I was gonna say. Either way, I mean, he'll get credit for it. But if Luke Rockhold gets the win, I mean, everyone will be excited. That'll really
yeah,
show that he's really, back into it for real this time.
and
I
it's a good
think,
fight for Luke.
Yeah, and he's getting in, good training with Perillo and maybe Bisping too. They're good friends
Yeah,
now. Um,
which is awesome.
yeah, it is awesome.
Okay.
What's happening with Bisping? Because we said that he was going to be returning,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't
But,
believe any
but
of
yeah,
that.
Darren Till's. I mean, who else?
He's
Like,
cool.
if anyone's gonna bullshit about that, it's Darren. Um, but yeah, that was awesome. Strickland, because his name's getting bigger, we're starting to see more of him, realizing he's a psychopath,
Bit of a
admittingly so.
weirdo. Bit of a
Yeah,
weirdo.
he was also apparently a former racist, and he grew out of it because of fighting. He just needed something to hate. And then when he started fighting, he got that hatred out of himself, and started to see
Well, I
straight.
heard it was he grew up that way. So like I don't really
Yeah.
know what to say there. Like give credit
Mm,
for him for admitting it, or
I like the honesty. That's all I got to say.
I think it's a
Obviously,
little
obviously,
unnecessary.
it's not a good thing that's what it is what it is. Like that's what happened, and he's honest about it. So I'm
Yeah, but
not
he's a
gonna.
little. I just think it was unnecessary. Like it's just a lot of like the whole thing about
No,
he's
no.
funny.
Honestly, it's good that he's saying that stuff, because there are a lot of people out there that are probably in a similar position that are just trying to find a place for their hatred, and they have no, you know, good way to deal with it. And so they, just do that.
Yeah, but
Fucking
I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, and it's also a weird thing to say that he enjoyed the taste of Uriah Hall's blood. It's another
yes.
thing weird. It's also weird to say that
He'd
he
like to
wants to
kill someone.
murder someone legally. It's a little, I like Strickland a lot, but the more attention he's got, the weirder. Maybe it's not the weirder he's gone, just the more clear it's become because we've been following. Like he's on a 5-fight win streak, but he really became active late last year when he beat Jack Marshman, and that Sean Strickland I think is hilarious. Come on, Jack, hit me. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give you a chance to win. Come on, why won't you fall? Like get him and Kevin Holland in the same, octagon. That
Yeah,
would be
that would
cool.
have been a great fight too. I would have loved to see
Instead, he's
that.
talking about blood and killing, and it's just like it's bizarre. But you know what? You do you. He's not.
They should do winner faces Kevin Holland,
No, loser faces Kevin
please.
Holland.
Uh,
That
no,
way
no,
we'll get
no,
Strickland versus Holland.
no. I don't know about that. Whatever. Let's move on to what what was the real main event on Saturday night.
Yep,
Maybe arguably Bellator's biggest event ever. At
I
least
think
the one I've never been as excited for one. The finale to their $1 million featherweight Grand Prix, lightweight,
featherweight 16
featherweight
and
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, I believe.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey, I mean, some people might say it was controversial, but in my opinion, AJ Mckee defeated maybe the best fighter ever on the Bellator roster in
Yeah,
under 2 minutes.
yeah, under 2 minutes, and
Just crazy.
essentially he knocked him out and choked him out.
Yeah, and he's
18 and
so
0.
he's just so good. He's so young. He's 18 and 0. And I mean, holy shit, like he's not weak anywhere. He can do anything, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because like now it just seems like, well, I guess Pitbull's not that good or blah blah blah. But you think 5 days ago or whatever, where are you going? Uh, he like Pitbull seemed unbeatable. He had that aura about him that he was unbeatable, especially as the two division champ, knocking out Michael Chandler in one round. Like for AJ McKee to do that is something. I don't like how he pulled a Sean O'Malley and put his hands in the air. It's just so stupid. Especially if this guy talked all the trash he did. I'm gonna knock you out in front of your father or whatever. Why don't you hit him more? He was
Yeah.
clearly not out. Like it wasn't like when Sean O'Malley landed that head kick on Thomas Almeida, that was more reasonable to walk away. Most people would not be able to take that. But Pitbull was clearly still in it. And then he choked him. And we were together, Cole, with some other people, including Ari, who was a guest host on multiple occasions. And I was screaming, it's going to be controversial because he wasn't out. He could have been, but he was stopped too early. It wouldn't have made
Yeah.
a difference, in my opinion, but there's always going to be controversy, especially with that jackass of a coach he has.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
No,
I was like, oh, we're going to have to listen to this guy even more.
I was actually surprised that there was like they didn't really say anything about
Yeah,
it. I was surprised how little they
respect,
said about it.
respect.
But then Pitbull did come out and say he never felt like he was out, but he doesn't want the lightweight rematch. Like I'm so confused.
I don't.
Either way,
Doesn't matter what he
clearly,
wants.
AJ McKee is going to be maybe the biggest star of MMA. Definitely,
Oh,
top
that's a
five. No, I don't know. He's so John Jones-esque. I don't think like I think he's poses a threat to anybody in the UFC featherweight division.
I do. Wait, you don't
Yeah,
think
he
he?
does. He does
Oh,
pose a threat to
sorry.
all of them.
He does post. Yeah, of course. But I
Yeah,
don't think, to be honest, I don't think he beats Holloway. I don't think he beats Volkanovski
but he's still so young, so you have no
or
idea.
Vega. No, yeah, it's hard to say, but very
Yeah,
impressive.
and
I'm
also
looking forward to the lightweight rematch.
I love how he's vying for that Snickers sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
It would work
And
so
did you see
perfectly.
Dana wants to like Dana? I love how Dana didn't like say, "Oh, I didn't watch it." He's like, "Hey, he's a cool kid. I owe him a lunch. We're gonna sit down, and when his contract's up, he'll give me a call."
Yeah.
He knows that.
The thing is, though, it's not as easy to get that Snickers sponsorship under the UFC contract as it is
That's
under a
true.
Bellator contract.
That's true.
So we'll see. He
If
should have.
I'm
He should have.
anything,
He should have
yeah,
made it more clear. He didn't like. I swear, it was a very small note in his post fight interview. He should have like capitalized more on it. The Snickers. But also speaking of Ari, that you brought up briefly, check out his new podcast, Behind the Baseline, interviewing a bunch of people in the music festival industry, I guess EDM industry. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, back to the fights. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that AJ McKee, if I'm him, considering let's say he wins, you rematch Pitbull at lightweight, then you defend one of your belts once, you get the 20-0. I don't know when his contract's up, but that's the perfect world. 20-0, beat Pitbull twice, double champ, go to the UFC and kick ass, featherweight division first. That should be his plan. You know, yeah, that guy has a lot of potential. 18 and
Yeah,
0. That's
I'm
amazing.
excited to see where he goes.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on to there's a lot of fight announcements this
A
week.
lot, a
A
lot of
lot.
big ones too.
Let's start with not a fight announcement, but a fight proposal, if you will. We know for a while that John Jones has been hesitant slash eager to, compete in the heavyweight division, but he's also been very what is it? He's been very. Here's the thing: Miocic was the champ, right?
Are you looking for a word?
No, I was just I can't. I don't want to insult John Jones, but
Well,
he's
here's the thing. He was only willing to fight at heavyweight for a title, and then he didn't accept the fight against the two dangerous people, but he does against Stipe. In my opinion, I can't blame him for being a pussy in that situation. I think it's smart if he did that on purpose. Maybe he's just finally at the weight that he wanted to be at to fight at heavyweight, and he wasn't earlier. And this is the time he wanted to fight around, whenever he's going to fight Miocic and not this weekend. So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I'm not against any of them here. I may the best man win. I'm fucking excited to see it.
Also, Cole, yeah. So Miocic pretty much accepted a fight with John Jones, and John Jones is yet to respond. I doubt he'll accept it. He wants the title fight, but hey, he better not leapfrog Stipe because Stipe accepted the fight and John didn't. So after this whole, Gone Lewis, whoever fights in Gone, whoever's the winner of that whole, situation, that person will fight Stipe.
I'm so excited to see this play out
I
because
think Gane's gonna fuck everything up.
I think whoever comes out on top of this little heavyweight tournament is the GOAT.
No, it's Stipe. Like you're
No,
telling
no.
me.
But if Jones beats
Oh,
Stipe
don't.
and then beats Ngannou or Lewis, he's GOAT. I mean, he already kind
Okay,
of
what if
is.
what if
And then if
Stipe beats John Jones, then Ngannou and Lewis are gone? Is he the GOAT?
yeah,
Maybe.
he's beaten
Okay, you know what? Let's
DC,
do. I was thinking about this,
Jones,
Cole. Let's do it.
Ngannou.
Cole, what's your top 10 pound for pound ever?
Oh, that's gonna take way too long.
Really? I'll give mine
Yeah,
because I know mine by heart.
yeah, I know you do.
Okay. Number 10, Randy Couture. You wouldn't put him on your list.
We don't need an explanation after every number.
Okay,
Just go
fine.
through
I
them.
go 9, Aldo, 8, Cormier, 7, Stipe, 6, Nunez, 5, Mighty Mouse, 4, Khabib, 3, John Jones, 2, Anderson Silva, 1, GSP. That's my list. Agree?
Who's 3?
Jones,
Who's 4?
Khabib.
I don't know. I think there's like it's so dumb that conversation, but like yeah, if there is a list that I guess should be one of the few.
Okay, I'll take it.
uh, so other fight announcements though, actual announcements. We have Makachev versus Rafael dos Anjos, UFC
Cool.
267.
Have you seen where Makachev is ranked in the lightweight rankings?
Yeah, number 5.
What the fuck? His
It's
biggest win
fair.
is over number 15, Thiago Moises.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like
There's
the
no
rank,
let's be real. We're
we
saying
know
let's
he's
be
better than the rest, though.
okay.
We
So
know.
you're okay. You want to be let's be real. Tony's at number 6 and Connor's at number 9. Dan Hooker's at number 8. What the fuck? Why is Connor at number 9? Because he lost twice to the number 1 contender, the number 6 pound for pound fighter in the world. That's stupid. Makachev should be at
Connor
best.
hasn't gotten a win in like 4 years.
That's funny. A year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Makachev didn't fight for a year and a half, and he's beat Thiago
Okay,
Moises.
whatever.
Stupid.
Also, hopefully, I doubt this is true, but I think there was talk that if Dos Santos wins, Khabib would come out of retirement. Don't
That's
believe
not
it.
happening.
Yeah.
No, first of all, Dos Santos, you lost to him. Yeah, you went to the distance. No one gives a fuck to see that rematch. Like nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And also, as we already mentioned, Strickland versus Rockhold, UFC 268, but also booked for UFC 268, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
Yeah, fireworks. That's as good as it gets.
Just for fun, who do you have between Makachev Dos Santos winning?
Well, first of all, Makachev's a minus 500 favorite, which is ridiculous considering he was minus 350 over Drew Dober. You're telling me, like, but he's minus 500 over Dos Santos. I think Dos Santos can win. I think it's I get why Makachev's the favorite, but as a betting man, I go Dos Santos, but I'm not confident in either one. Like RDA looks great.
If I'm choosing winners for those fights, I'm taking Jones, Makachev, and Gaethje.
Okay, I'm taking Stipe, Dos Santos, and Chandler.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah, Chandler Gaethje could go either way. I really like Justin Gaethje, but Michael Chandler's my favorite, I think, in that division.
I'm not even gonna get started with you there, but yeah, Strickland versus Rockhold. I think I would take. Honestly, this one's such a toss up to me. It's so hard. Yeah. It just depends on how Rockhold looks. But also worth mentioning about the Chandler Gaethje fight. There's talks that because of New York's vaccination mandate, that he might not be fighting at MSG because he doesn't feel comfortable getting a vaccine. People have different opinions on that matter. I say get the vaccine. If you don't, I hope you have a good reason. I'd understand if you don't want whatever. Let's not get into it.
The touchy subject. It is frustrating because I am planning to go to New York for that fight card. And as a fan, if that fight gets canceled, that's a big knock on the card. And for Chandler, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. First of all, it wouldn't matter if I told you. You wouldn't fucking listen to me. I'm an 18.
I don't know. People get flu shots every year. It's not much different.
Yeah, I don't know much about the science behind it, but I think just get the fucking vaccine, especially if you have an opportunity to fight Justin Gaethje, and if you win, you'll probably get a title shot. You're gonna jeopardize that because you don't want a needle. Like, come on, bro. But you know what? To each their own. Let's we'll move on from that. Strickland Rockhold, you didn't give your prediction, did you? You said it was such a toss up.
Yeah, it's just so hard. I was trying to get out of it. I'm gonna go with Strickland.
Okay, I'll go with Rockhold.
All right, and now Volkov versus Tybura we have booked for UFC 267.
That's a good fight. Good fight on them because we need Tybura to win this fight.
I want Volkov. I have Volkov and want Volkov.
Yeah, Volkov will probably win, but I'm gonna go Tybura. Tybura, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Kai Kara France versus Cody Garbrandt. Cole, Cody's moving to flyweight December 11th. Don't know if it'll be a main event. Don't know if it'll be a pay-per-view, but I like this move on Garbrandt's part. I think it's the right move. And I know people are saying, yeah, if I was Cody Garbrandt, I would have campaigned for maybe Alex Perez or, I don't know, someone that doesn't hit as hard as Kara France because we have seen Cody's weakness. But I think Cody's going to win this fight. I like Kara France.
I think Kara Francis.
Wow, we're really not agreeing.
I know. It's so exciting. Okay, next.
We're probably not going to agree on this.
Paulo Costa versus Marvin Vettori. UFC October 23rd. Okay.
I'm going to count from 3 to 1. After that, you say your pick. Do you have it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Costa.
Vittori.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
I think Costa by decision though. I don't think he'll knock him out. I think
Vittori by decision. Actually, I think Vittori. is gonna TKO him by ground and pound.
Interesting. Bold prediction. Holloway
All right.
versus Rodriguez. Oh, we didn't even say. Costa Vittori, October 23rd.
I
But
did. You're just interrupting me.
I interrupted you. Cole, why don't you take the next couple?
Holloway versus Rodriguez. That is Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez, in case you're wondering. UFC November 13th. I think we'll both agree on this one.
Holloway.
Yes.
I like Yair, I do, but I think Holloway just the cardio is just like 10-3, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just not.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the following week, Joanne Calderwood, JoJo, as they say, versus Alexa Grasso. UFC November 20th. I think we'll have the same person here.
Better not be a main event. Good co-main event. Shouldn't be the main event.
Yeah, I agree. I have Calderwood. I assume
Me
you
too.
do as well.
I like Grasso, but I think Calderwood should be fighting for the title. It's just irritating, but good for Lauren Murphy. She's old, whatever. Let's move on to Bellator news, Cole. So the light heavyweight tournament will be we know who the semifinals are. Vadim Nemkov will fight Anthony Rumble Johnson for the title on October 16th, I believe. Yep, Bellator 268. And the co-main event will be the other semifinal match. Corey Anderson, Ryan Bader. Who do you have for the co-main event?
This is heavyweight or light heavyweight? Light heavyweight. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Corey Anderson.
Yeah, I'm going to take him too. How about Johnson Nemkov?
You might be surprised with my pick here, but I'm going with
Nemkov.
I was going to go with Johnson, but I'm going with Nemkov.
Yeah, probably the smarter bet, but I want to see Anthony Johnson win. So, yeah, I want Anderson and Johnson in the finals. I like both those guys.
Last fight announcement, guys, I promise.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fedor versus Tim Johnson, Bellator, Moscow, October 23rd. Who do you have here?
So we know that Fedor is doing a retirement tour, right? Like he fought in Japan, he beat Rampage. Now he's fighting Johnson, who's number 2.
Yeah.
And then he wants to, which is in Russia, like you said, Moscow. And then he wants to do one in America as his final. So what if he beats Timothy Johnson and then he fights for the title because he'll be ranked 2 at least in his last fight in America?
I think Tim Johnson wins personally.
I've got Fedor.
I've got Johnson.
Okay.
All right, so we agree on 3 fights.
Well,
cool.
I bet a lot of those fights won't even end up happening, but yeah.
So now into just news in general. Wonder Boy, the nice motherfucker, calls for a Masvidal rematch in November for UFC 268 at Wonder Boy's favorite place, Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I mean, I would love for that. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen though. I think Masvidal and Edwards are gonna fight, but it's definitely a possibility. If not Masvidal, who do you think's next for Wonder Boy? I thought maybe Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or maybe Damian Maia wants a retirement fight. They're both on the older side.
No, Damian Maia is not getting another fight apparently.
Okay, well, and then why don't we talk about Masvidal? So who's next for him? Is it the Wonder Boy rematch? Is it the Gilbert Burns fight, the Nate Diaz rematch, or the Leon fight?
If Jorge's smart, he'd probably do the Nate Diaz fight. If he wants to climb up and go for the title, I say he honestly waits to see. I think he's got to fight Thompson or Nate Diaz. I think those are his 2 options right now.
I think Leon versus Masvidal is just the fight to make.
I don't know if Leon would agree to do that.
Well, he's dumb. He's not dumb. He would be dumb if he didn't accept that fight.
Because who's next for a title?
I mean, you have if Chiesa or Luque, whoever wins that fight, especially if Chiesa. I know Edwards has a win over Luque, but Chiesa is he's the new guy.
When's the Kamaru Kobe fight?
That's in November.
Yeah, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah,
between now and November.
But it's if he goes and fights Masvidal and beats Masvidal, nobody can deny him.
No, I think there's time. My point is I think Leon's waiting to fight the winner of Chiesa Luque.
I doubt that, but maybe. Let's talk about. You want to talk about? Well, we already talked about this, but Khabib had some fighters fighting this weekend. Still undefeated as a coach and a fighter. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know what to say. Khabib's just the best. I don't know how he's doing it, but all of his fighters like under his dad have gotten better under Khabib, it seems. I mean, they're all already amazing.
And they're
But to
all
be,
fighting nobodies. But yeah,
yeah, well, I mean, they are all nobodies as well. But for him to still be undefeated is crazy. And speaking of which, Khabib was also on Mike Tyson's podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, and they brought up Conor McGregor's tweets about Khabib's dad, the thing about evil, how if good always defeats evil, then COVID must be good and your dad must be evil, whatever Conor said. And Khabib's response was, only evil can talk about your father, wife, kids, religion. And then he goes on to say how Conor always, gets drunk and posts on Twitter and then deletes them the next day because he regrets them. And yeah, that's exactly what Khabib said. He think what happened, right? And he's probably not wrong. Conor's got I guess he's, trying to, I guess, get that leg ready and rest and recover. But with that comes a lot of free time to have some drinks.
No, listen, it's a terrible thing for Connor to say, just so stupid and disrespectful. And I am a Connor fan, but it's hard to cheer for someone when you say something like that. I mean, and Khabib handled it like a pro. He didn't let it get to him, but at the same time, he said it was terrible, which it was. Yeah, you don't go there with dead parents, especially recent, and the bonds as coach and as a father that Abdullah Mack, or whatever his name is, had on Khabib. I just think it's disgusting. But yeah, you know what? He could have been drunk, but it's no excuse. Let's talk about Chad Mendes.
Khabib might be my favorite personality, like in the sport, just like overall. Like I love him so much.
Well, and wait for Derek Lewis this weekend.
Yeah, you're right. But also, just want to quickly mention Joe Rogan's off the commentary booth for UFC 265 due to his comedy tour. His comedy tour.
No, 266, I thought.
No, 265. Like this weekend. Yeah.
Fuck,
Dominic Cruz replacing
him. But you want Joe there interviewing Lewis if he does win.
Exactly. But whatever. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Lewis will entertain us if he wins. You know what's funny about this card? This weekend? I think I love everyone on the main card. Like there's no one I don't like.
Yeah, I like everyone. I don't like Casey Kennedy.
Because of what he said about Megan Anderson?
Just so stupid.
I think he's an idiot. I don't dislike him.
Right.
Same with Bobby Green. I don't dislike. I like him, but he's an idiot.
What did Bobby Green do?
Nothing. Just go to his Instagram page. You'll get what I mean. Okay. So, speaking of Joe Rogan and Khabib said he doesn't want to be on Joe Rogan's podcast yet because he wants to improve his English before he goes on.
Yeah, I've heard that.
This Khabib.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna get much better, to be honest. He's fine in English.
No, it will be. He has so much time now to practice it on a daily.
The accent that makes it sound not as good, but it's fine.
Yeah, it is. It is fine. Maybe he just wants to be better. But yeah, also on Joe Rogan's podcast.
He had Romero on Joe Rogan.
Sorry?
He had Romero on Joe Rogan.
No, it's a person. It's not Joe's choice. Joe
wants no, I know. I'm just saying if they could make that work, then he would be fine.
But yeah, as you were saying, Chad Mendes was on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day, and he mentioned that he signed with BKFC. He's making his return. We thought, or at least we hoped, it would be MMA because he's been looking sharp and obviously has a wrestling base. But he's fallen in love with boxing and wants to give it a go for some reason without gloves. He seems to think that although people find it barbaric now, people will eventually grow comfortable with it. It's like they did with UFC. I don't agree per se. I think there's a reason there's never been bare knuckle boxing, even though boxing's been around for as long as it has been. But we'll see if he's right. Sucks he's not coming back to MMA.
I like BKFC. I just would never watch it. I just think it is more barbaric than the other ones. It's not like it's box. It's not like the reason people is MMA. Listen to this though. People get mad at MMA because of the not just the regulations, but the sport that you're allowed to kick and that stuff. But box, this is just the same sport but without gloves. It's so unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not embarrassed to watch UFC. I own it because I love it. It's a great sport, and I'll argue that with anyone. But you know, people still, there is a stigma still for some people, and some people make comments when you're watching, like, um, you know, some friends' parents, some grandparents, whatever. And for BKFC, although I love watching it, don't get me wrong, I'm not letting anybody see me watch that.
Hmm. Yeah.
At least anyone like that. But yeah, regardless, a couple other things to mention.
Also, wait, I just want to say something funny. You know, I'm blocked on Instagram by Chad Mendes
No.
because he
Oh, you fucking about his hunting.
yeah. I regret this. I didn't listen. I get hunting more now, like especially like Joe Rogan. Like if you're
Yeah, he's
eating,
not
dude,
doing it for sport.
yeah. But the way I still don't think you should be like taking pictures with dead carcasses. I just think it's a little. You want to talk about barbaric? I think it's a little unnecessary. Like smiling, look what I killed. Like you want to eat it, fine. You want to be healthy, good for you. But I don't know. I shouldn't have said what I said. I gave.
I think it's a
Yeah.
fair opinion.
I
Uh,
put my.
uh,
I comment on Instagram. I'm like, wow, Chad, like killed an animal
you
for
know,
no.
I agree with that. You're right, but I also think you shouldn't. What else is what is also unnecessary, and what you shouldn't do
My
is go
opinion.
around messaging people on Instagram like that who
I
don't know
didn't
who you
message
are.
him. I didn't message him.
Oh,
First of all, this is
commenting
5 years
still.
ago.
It's just
Okay,
weird.
I
I know,
was
but still.
13. I said I was stupid, and I put a comment, and somehow he saw it, I guess, and he blocked me. I'm also blocked by Tito Ortiz. I have no idea why. Just cannot find his Instagram.
Well,
Not the end of the
um,
world. I don't need to see, anti-vaccination posts every 30 seconds.
you know what's funny? I was watching Embedded today, and Jose Aldo, in the two scenes he was in one scene he was listening to Coldplay, and then the other scene he was listening to Queen. I believe those are someone's two favorite bands.
Yeah, those are my two favorite bands. Good for Aldo. I was already rooting for him, but that gives me an extra kick. I like Munoz a lot too, but how do you not cheer for Aldo? The guy's fucking fighting. He still has a title run in the future. He fought fucking tough against Yon. I had him
Yeah,
winning rounds 2 and 3.
I love
Um,
Aldo. Look how
yeah,
good he looked against Marlon Vera, who just
Eric,
had a great win.
yeah,
Um,
Cheeto. He should have
but
beat
yeah,
Marlon Moraes.
I agree. He did, in my
Even
opinion, and the
Volkanovski was a
UFC's.
close fight.
Yeah,
The only
he,
people
the
to
UFC
really,
treat the
yeah,
UFC treated it as if he won, so who cares? Um,
yeah.
but also, other current news unrelated to the sport of MMA. So first off, we just want to briefly mention Simone Biles because we touched on it last podcast.
No, we don't want
It
to.
was it was in fact a extenuating circumstance, not just her mental health. Her aunt died, and even after the fact, she still did come back and won a bronze medal. So she was right. You know, if she performed, she wouldn't perform as well as she wanted, and she was right. So nothing against her. Not that I ever did have anything, but it's unfortunate for those who commented on her situation before knowing
Yeah,
what it was about.
I
Whatever.
agree.
She's in the clear now. And then also, something still unrelated to MMA. Disney unfortunately breached their contract with Scarlett Johansson for her appearance in Black Widow. It was supposed to be an exclusive theatrical release where obviously, you know, you'd make a lot of money, but due to COVID, a very unforeseen circumstance, they had to make some changes, and so they made it available on Disney for a certain extra charge. But the thing is that the people in the Marvel movies don't get any money from Disney Plus. So, and she doesn't get any money from that. So it's just so unfair to her that she'd miss out on the exclusive theatrical release because people have another way to see it. And so she's
I
asking
feel
for
too bad.
money. She's asking for money, the money that she's due. And it's unfortunate the way that Disney's dealing with it because they're coming out and saying how much she already made. And obviously, yeah, 20 million, which is what she got, is a big number. And anyone who reads that number is going to be like, why is she upset? She got 20 million. But no, she could have gotten twice that, more than that, because that's what her deal said, her contract said. And the thing is, she's not being selfish and fighting for herself. She's fighting for artists. She's fighting for like all actors and all writers that are dealing with this new streaming industry, because the streaming industry is going to take away a lot of money from people like that, because box office numbers are going to continually go down as streaming services continue to grow. So
Yeah,
this is setting a
I
precedent
agree.
that you can't fuck them over. And so she's fighting
It's a tricky
an important
situation though
fight.
with COVID, but the fact that it's Disney, Disney, which is a pretty, fucked up company in a lot of ways, and has opened theme parks like very early, and they're talking about being safe for COVID. And they took all. It's like they didn't even give her a purse of the Disney, right? The Disney
Yeah,
Plus. So that's where they're wrong.
yeah,
Like if they
and
had
good
but
timing
Cole,
on the
if they
lawsuit
had,
too,
yeah,
because
yeah,
she's no longer working for Marvel. But the thing
yeah.
is,
I was
the,
like that confirmed she's not coming back.
yeah, the thing is that Marvel, like at least Kevin Feige, who's a large part of Marvel, came out and said that he supports Scarlett, that he thinks it's disgusting how Disney handled the situation.
Yeah, I also don't like how Disney, like, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, if Disney had given her shares of Disney Plus, then I don't think Scarlett should have opened her mouth, because like that would have been fair in the
Yeah,
circumstances. But since they didn't do that, I'm on Scarlett's side. I agree. But then again, can't feel too bad for her. She's got $20 million plus the hundreds of millions she's already made. But yeah, I'm on
and
Scarlett's side for that. Why don't we talk about the fights this weekend? We got a big pay-per-view, Cole.
it's a
Not a
good
big
idea.
pay-per-view, but a good
Um,
pay-per-view.
yeah, let's start off from the bottom. At least one prelim I want to mention: Bobby Green versus Rafael Viziev. Viziev, a training partner of Peter Yan's, great striker, like beautiful
Amazing.
striking. And then Bobby Green, who is a dog. He always, brings the fight, and he's a great wrestler. Especially in his last few fights, it's like he hasn't missed a takedown, it seems. So that'll be a very interesting wrestler versus striker matchup. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that one?
I have honestly, I don't. I think Viziev should be getting someone like ranked at this point, and like it's enough. But whatever, it's like a good final win, I think, before he goes in the top 15. It's going to be a fun fight because Bobby Green, like you said, he puts on a show. Like,
Yeah.
and he has won 3 of his last 4, I believe. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I have Busy of winning, but I mean, I would say, how can you not cheer for Bobby Green? But you're telling me there's some fucked up shit on his Instagram, so I gotta go look at that
No,
first.
no, it's not fucked up. He's a weird guy. That's all.
Whatever. Um, let's move on to the main card, shall we?
Um, yes, we shall. Casey Kenny versus
Versus the
Yadong
best
Song
team in MMA.
versus Yadong Song.
Song Yadong.
Song Yadong. Yeah, I think that's a great fight as well. I'm excited to see it. I think Song Yadong's a little overrated, and I think Casey Kenny's really good. So I think Kenny has that one in the bag, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Song Yadong needs to win this one. I don't think it's in the bag for either one. This is a pick 'em, in my opinion.
What do you
Um,
think about the next one?
I have Song Yadong in that one, but Casey Kenny's really good. The next one, Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill 2. This is a new Angela Hill. It's not the same girl from the first fight. I have Tisha Torres. I think Tisha Torres is very underrated. And yeah, she lost like 4 in a row before winning her last fight, but she lost to like the best of the best. And they were all decisions.
Who won
She
the
lost to
first
like
fight?
Joanna. What?
Who won the first fight?
Tisha. But Tisha, like her last, like the 4 losses she had, they were like to Marina Rodriguez, Andrade, Joanna, and Wheelie. Like those are not the worst losses to have. Um, Also, yeah. So I've got Tisha Torres in that. She's a slight favorite. Let's move on. Oh, who do you have? Sorry,
Um,
Angela Hill.
I
What
don't
were you
know.
saying?
I think it's a toss him as well, like a pick him as well. Torres did win the first fight, and you're right about what you said, that she was only lost to the best. Um, and Angela Hills just looked great in all of her recent fights, despite the recent loss.
Well, she
And
should have beat Claudia
I
Gadelha in
agree.
my
I
opinion.
agree. I agree. I agree. And although you are right, she has improved a lot since their last fight. It's still a toss up to me. So I can't pick here, but for the sake of
Yeah,
it, just because I love Angela Hill, I'm going to take Angela Hill.
and because she is a slight underdog, so
Yes. Um,
good pick.
Next fight, which is, in my opinion, could be
Should
a
be the
main event
co-main
of its
event,
own.
but it should be the co-main event. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I agree. I agree. Um, well, yeah, Michael Chiesa versus Vincent Luque. I mean, both young, up and coming studs. They've both been the dark horses of their respective divisions, and then Chiesa came up to welterweight and has looked even better up here.
Way
So,
back.
I mean, it's tough for me to pick this one as well because Luque has great wrestling defense and is a great striker. Chiesa has good striking, but is a great grappler because of his wrestling and jiu-jitsu abilities. So
Specifically, is I'd say his size is a big factor in this fight.
yeah. So I don't know. Um,
Listen, it's a tough fight to pick. Like
yeah, it really is.
there's a lot of pickups in this card. Um, I think Chiesa, if I had to pick, but Luque, like you said, is great takedown defense. Another thing is, Chiesa's been never been. I think it was a doctor stoppage TKO loss to Joe Lozon, but he's never been knocked out. I don't
He's
know why.
also a really big guy at a lower weight class at lightweight. He's never lost at welterweight.
Who Michael Chiesa? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's listen 4 in a row against Neil Magny, RDA, Diego Sanchez, Carlos Condit, like pretty good wins. And yeah, I'd like to see if he wins this fight. A title shot might be next, maybe one more, but it'll boost him up. So
Something
I'm gonna,
scares me about this one. I really have a feeling Luque is gonna win, even though I really want, and I don't know, like Chiesa should, and I want him to as well, but something tells me Luque is going to.
yeah, I don't know. It's a tough fight. I would bet that this one actually does go the distance.
That's fair.
I believe like I think it's even, so good money
I
there.
think Luque could finish it if he wins. I think that's how, because he's 18 finishes in
I
20
don't.
fights.
I think Luque would get a decision before he'd get a finish.
18 finishes in 20 fights.
Yeah, it's my prediction. I don't see anyone at this weight class knocking out. I shouldn't say that.
Okay, well, next fight, co-main event, we have Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz, both Brazilian fighters, both
Warriors.
great striking. I love them both, as I was saying. I mean, I have Aldo in this fight by decision. I'm pretty confident in it too, but Munoz definitely has a chance, so he's a good value, plus 100 underdog. Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's very difficult to beat Jose Aldo in a 3-round fight, and I don't think Pedro Munoz will do that. So I'm with you on that. But it's a close fight. Very similar styles in that. Well, Pedro's more of a heavy hitter. Aldo's more technical, I'd say. But don't forget, Munoz has phenomenal guillotines, great jiu-jitsu, and so does Aldo, to be honest. He just doesn't use it that much. So yeah, it's a really well-rounded matchup. Probably will stay on the feet. And yeah, I've got Aldo by decision. I'm right with you on that one, Cole. Let's go to the main event.
Main event, interim heavyweight championship fight. It's finally happening. Not what we expected, not who we expected, but I'm fucking excited. Cyril Gane, undefeated, 7-0, giant, tall, athletic Frenchman against Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, giant belly, big man. I think I heard someone say recently that Lewis in a parking lot fight, Lewis beats Cyril Gane to death. But that's not what this is.
I don't even agree with that.
Neither do I.
I don't know what the philosophy is behind that. Lewis gets worse as the fight. Well, he does have late knockouts, but he gets more tired, and Gane doesn't seem to slow down. I think, if anything, Lewis does. No, I think it's the same thing, to be honest.
This fight scares the fuck out of me.
But let's go with this ball. Who do you want to win?
Derek Lewis.
I do too, but I like Cyril Gane. I think
me too.
But I think it's better for the division, and it's better. It's just fun if Derek Lewis gets a belt.
Same.
And I think everyone wants to see Ngannou avenge that loss to Lewis, or give Lewis the opportunity to show, hey, I can knock out anyone.
Yeah, you know? I'm really excited for this fight because it's going to tell a lot. And
Gane's going to be a problem.
I know. In terms of who I think is going to win, Gane should win. Gane is a much better fighter. Gane should win. But with that being said, never, ever, ever bet against Lewis, because if there's anybody that can knock out someone out of nowhere,
fuck your parlays up,
even in the last 10 seconds of the last round, like he did against Volkov, Lewis can knock you the fuck out. So yeah. I say stay away from this fight. Enjoy it if you're betting.
Yeah. I see a lot of people saying Cyril can only go the distance. I think Cyril can finish him.
Cyril could finish him, because Cyril could make him tired and submit him, even take him down. Who knows? It's definitely not out of the game, not out of the picture. But I don't know. I'm really excited for it. Don't bet on it. If you are betting on Lewis, do it by knockout.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's get into the betting picks.
I'll go with Derek Lewis, I guess. Yeah, you do the betting picks on the head up.
No, you should actually
listen. I'm done with betting.
Yeah. Well, too bad. You can disagree or agree with some of mine. You know, it'll spice it up for the listeners.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Well,
actually, do it. Finish the podcast without me.
No.
Why not?
Because First
Fuck,
fight,
go quickly. I got food.
Johnny Munoz versus Jamie Simmons.
Oh.
Jimmy Simmons. I don't know. I'm taking Johnny Munoz minus 250. I'm skipping the next fight, the female fight, Leonardo versus Gatto. Not betting on it. Then we have Miles Johns against Anderson Dos Santos. I'm taking Miles Johns at minus 200. Manel Cape, I'm taking it minus 200 as well against Ode Osborne. I don't know if that's how you say his name.
Okay.
I know. You better. Not betting on Kowalkiewicz pen fight. I'm taking Alonzo Menefield against Ed Herman. He got a beautiful submission, Alonzo, in his last fight against Fabio Charant, who's a very dangerous looking fighter, at least. And Ed Herman didn't look too good against Daniel Rodriguez or Mike Rodriguez, but Mike Rodriguez didn't seem to know what he was doing on the ground and got submitted. Whatever. Then I'm going to be taking. So this is going to be surprising maybe to you, Jack. But I'm taking Bobby Green at plus 225.
Surprising and stupid.
Rafael Fiziev has gotten taken down before, and the person he got taken down against is not as good of a wrestler as Bobby Green. I know this is going to sound legit because I'm saying I don't remember who it was, but I promise you I looked today, and I remember Bobby Green was a better wrestler. Then I have Casey Kenny at minus 125 against Yadong Song. I'm going to take Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill to go all the way, minus 334, because neither of them have been finished ever. The toughest fight for me to do, I'm doing Jose Aldo by decision, which is plus 187. I'm leaving Lewis and Gane out of this because it's just too tough. And to finish your parlay, take Luque in one version and Chiesa in the other. Luque in one version at minus 125 gives you plus 17,255. So you're going to win nearly $1,700 for $10. If you take Chiesa instead, you have a better value at plus 19,184, and that will give you $1,900 for your $10. I say put both of those in. Enjoy the last fight without betting. For a safety bet, do one without either Chiesa or Luque. Leave that fight out and do Fiziev instead of Bobby Green. And that's it. I wish you guys good luck. Yeah, that's the end of the show, Jack.
Good show, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Yeah, peace out.
Yeah, thank you, guys. And follow.
Those were words.